What is popping, everyone? My name is Big J Knightley, aka Just Mix, the Media Indie Exchange, and in Terabang Entertainment, the indie studio, as well as one of the lead advisors on the Humble Bundle Black Game Developer Fund, which their site is up, and a lot of those developers will be showcasing their games today. I am in Stockholm, Sweden, at the House of Fury, and this place is amazing. So if you have a chance to come to Stockholm, definitely check out Raw Fury. Dope. They have helped us start and spark Black Voices in Gaming, and that's actually a good segue because Black Voices in Gaming started in 2020 during the Guerrilla Collective, during the protests and heightened racial awareness, which was extremely crazy for me and other Black creators. And this was a chance to get Black voices heard from the game industry, and it has been significant. I met so many cool folks. They've worked with each other, communicated with each other. So it has been, amazing. I want to thank everyone from Twitch for supporting us, sponsoring this stream, as well as Valve for hosting us on Steam. We have a Black Voices in Gaming page where you should show the developers love by wish listing or purchasing their games for sure. But I am going to stop yammering, and I'm going to let Red Infamy and Neil take it away. Talk to you later. Peace.
So much. I wish you could have packed this up, to go to Sweden. But welcome everyone to Black Voices and Gaming Showcase. My name is Samika Moultrie, but you all know me in these gaming streets as Red Infamy, a reporter for about 10 years in the game. Also have interviewed so many countless creative individuals in the gaming industry, pro streamer, and you all know me from some prolific podcasts, but I am joined with the award-winning Game Dev of the Year, Neil.
Thank you so much. What's up, Red? How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you doing? And for a dope
I'm chilling.
showcase.
I'm just chilling. I'm happy to be here with you. I'm happy that Justin asked us to do this. He gets all those cool nicknames, but he want to call me by my government. But we gonna let that one go. Y'all might know me as Aerial Knight online. I'm the creator and developer of Aerial Knights Never Yield, a super dope narrative runner on pretty much all the platforms. You can go check it out if you like. There's free demos all over the place. But today we are here to talk about Black Voices in Gaming. I'm here chilling with Tamika, Miss Red, and we're gonna have a good time.
Yes, indeed. So we're gonna have a great show today. But before we jump into, we definitely want to thank our sponsors. So thank you so much, Intel, for the Intel Dev Boost program. It's a really great accelerator program. So if you're if you are if you're a game developer of any sort, you definitely want to check out this program. It helps get visibility and discoverability for developers in their game. And also a huge shout out to the Humble Black Game Developer Fund, which a lot of the developers that you're going to see in this showcase are a part of. So the Humble Black Game Developer Fund is a really dope program that has helped raise millions of dollars for Black game developers through prototype funds, finishing funds, and additional ongoing support. So make sure you all check out the blackgamedevfund.com. The ad libs is most appreciated by Aerial Knight.
I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to mess you up, but you're doing amazing.
I know. Last but not least, we have to give a huge thanks to Twitch for supporting. They've been our supporting broadcast partner. Big shout outs to PlayStation, who supported the team since 2021. And of course, a huge shout out to Raw Fury, who has been an amazing partner. They helped us actually get through this year and have been supporting this series since the beginning. And also Razer for providing hardware for our showcases over the years for countless different developers. All right. And make sure you all check out the Steam event page for Black Voices in Gaming so you could get all the information on all the games that we're about to showcase, and make sure y'all wish list it up, because Aerial Knight, since I gotta call you by your cool name, since you would be called by your cool name.
Right.
Okay, Aerial Knight, let them know what wish listing is all about. Like, because a lot of people don't understand that helps a lot of developers before their game comes out.
Yeah, it lets us know like how much interest there is in the game, how much how much we can expect people to like, gravitate towards it, and if we're doing stuff right.
Awesome. So we're going to get into the first game we're going to showcase, which is Slime Heroes, created by Tomas Gomez of Pancake Studios. Let's drop into that feature.
But before we do that, I just want to bring up a wish list thing again, because I think I kind of didn't like explain it as best as I could. By wish listing games, okay. Before I go into that, I got a guy in my ear. He's doing the setup. I just want to call him out right now, and big shout out to Tracy, because Tracy is amazing and he's handling all the behind the scenes stuff. And I'm going to keep thanking Tracy throughout the show. But you should wish list games because it really helps the game developers. And I ramble a lot, but back on topic, wish listing games is amazing, and it really helps us just get a gauge for like the interest in the project, and gets us on the front page and lets everybody else know how dope our stuff is. So go ahead and go wish list things that you're interested in and help out developers while you're at it.
I did not know that. So going into Slime Heroes.
Hi, my name is Tomas Gomez, and I am the creator of Slime Heroes. Slime Heroes is a game where you play as an adorable slime. Your main objective is to save all the other creatures of the world by clearing the corruption off of them. Doing this will make you stronger and allow you to make some friends along the way. First off, you'll need to personalize your character. Change the eyes, mouth, and color to match your inner slime. You can also discover hats throughout the world to change the shape of your slime and customize it even more. As you start adventuring, you'll find lots of different corrupted enemies out in the world, each with their own unique skills. Slimes can defend themselves by forming different melee weapons to fight against the corruption, including swords, spears, hammers, and much more. Each goo weapon has its own moveset and feel for you to get comfortable with. Slimes can also consume the skills of each enemy as they defeat them. Consuming these, the slime can now use those skills, but can also make them your own by mixing and matching elements of the skills to create brand new ones never seen before. There are a wide variety of skills to discover, from fireballs to whirlwinds, meteors, ice breath, to even becoming a giant bowling ball. When you mix those together, who knows what will happen. There is a massive world to explore. Overgrown jungles, snowy tundras, and molten hot mountains. Use objects in the world like bouncing mushrooms to discover hidden paths and secret loot. You can also create your own path by freezing the water surface or by burning down branches blocking your way. Each area has its own unique enemies and boss. As you go deeper into the parts of the world, you'll discover the corrupted ancient gods. These are the toughest, most challenging boss battles in the game. Each boss has unique skills that you'll have to learn and overcome. Once each boss is cleansed, they will help you along on your journey, and they might even give you some sweet loot too. You can keep up with the latest news and updates on Twitter, like new bosses and co-op features. Also, please wishlist Slime Heroes now on Steam.
Looks amazing.
So we have Tomas is in the lobby to join us and tell us more about his game, Slime Heroes. Tomas, where are you, my friend?
We're working on getting Tomas back on.
Where's Tomas?
But
we can just talk about the game until he's in the lobby. Yeah. So, Slime Heroes, what do you think about Slime Heroes? Because I got a chance to actually check out the game, and I was like, okay, it's a cute game, but it has some challenges with it. So I need some friends. So we definitely gonna have to get on Steam together and play Slime Heroes. So what's your thoughts on Slime Heroes so far before we get Thomas in?
Yeah, you underselling the art. You called it cute. It looks amazing. Like doing stuff like that is so hard to like get right. It reminds me of like a Studio Ghibli type of art style, or the anime like Slime. My Life is a Slime, something like that. Anyway, it looks amazing.
Okay.
All right, so we have
gonna
slide Tomas in here now.
Hey, what's up,
Hello.
Tomas? Great for you to
Thanks for
be with
having me.
us today.
Yeah, thanks for
So,
having me.
you're actually you was a part of the Humble Black Game Development Fund. So let us
Yep.
know about you and also your game.
Sure. So I've been working on. I started my own game studio, Pancake Games, and I've been working on Slime Heroes for about last year. It's pretty much been myself for most of the time working on Slime Heroes. It's been kind of a passion project. I've been in the game industry for a long time, but I decided to do my own thing and make this game. And I've been working on it by myself. But with the Black Game Developer Fund, it allowed me to get some money to be able to bring some more people on and push Slime Heroes to be even better.
Dope. So just like what Neil was talking about, because he mentioned the anime too, what inspired you to like say, I want to make a slime character
anime?
instead of the traditional like animal or human?
Yeah, so most of my career I've been an artist, and I've definitely developed an art style that I gravitate towards. And like I always like really colorful, really like really charming characters and worlds. And so when wanting to make a game, I kind of wanted to do that for this. And so I was trying to think of a very humorous, charming character that I can make that a lot of people would enjoy playing, and something that was different that you haven't really seen too much. And maybe I watched some anime here and there and got some inspiration from that too. And
Man, nah, I feel you.
We know
Everybody compares my stuff to like Spider-Verse too. So, everybody gets inspiration. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But it looks amazing, especially for only a year of development. It's just like you just been hustling away by yourself.
So yeah, it's been myself for it was myself for like 9 months, and then I was able to get some funding from Humble, and that allowed me to bring on about like 6 people to help me on different things like
Amazing.
animation and programming and UI.
What's the first thing that you did as soon as you like got the funding? Because I'll tell you what I did, but tell me what was the first thing like when you got the funding. What did you go into your game?
Let's see, who did I get first? I think initially like the thing that so everyone that I brought on were things that I was weak at in game development, and so like animation was one of the things I thought was really important. And so I looked for animators to help me, because I think animation is kind of taken for granted a little bit. Like they just add so much life to the characters, and makes stuff feel good if the animation is done right. And so I think that was the first thing, hands down, that I was looking for help.
Nice.
So I got a chance to play Slime Heroes. I think it's fascinating. It's remarkable. So like, cause Neil got on me because I called it cute. I called it cute because it looked great. No
That's
shade,
great.
all right.
That's
But
No,
in its
no,
cute art
cute's fine.
style, it is a challenging game. Like I feel like this is a great cooperative type of game. So with the challenges in the game, what's some challenges you face developing this game as well?
So, initially it was myself building it, and so being a solo developer can definitely be tough because you're basically doing everything, and there's never really anyone to bounce ideas off of, and so that was always challenging. I've always come from an art background, and so I've had to pick up a bunch of different skills. So like programming and stuff like that has always been a challenge. I love learning, so I've appreciated those challenges, but the challenges nonetheless. And so just picking up all those skills, and then being that solo developer, like trying to find feedback and people to play the game, and like there is just gold as a solo developer to get that feedback.
Yeah,
And
the
so those are
loneliness
things you try to
is
look
what
for.
you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
But
So
like
what's the
on
coolest?
that note,
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Neil. My bad.
right? You just like taking my shot.
My
No,
bad.
on that on that note, because I think a lot of indie people like kind of relate to that like sentiment of just like kind of being by yourself, trying to figure this stuff out. My question I always ask people, because it's something I kind of struggle with too. Do you make this game for you, like something that you personally like, or do you make it for like everybody? Because there's flaws in both of those. But which one do you kind of lean towards?
So I've been in the AAA space for a long time, and with that, like I've always done like side projects and done like personal like passion projects and stuff like that. Like I made a VR game a while back where it was just a tribute to Dragon Ball,
Nice.
and this game, there's still definitely things that are true to me. Like I wanted to make a game that I could play with my friends and family. I thought that was something very important to me. I wanted something that I could share and experience. And so, and then I also wanted something that was very charming and welcoming. The game itself is actually like, I think someone mentioned how difficult the game can be, and that actually came from my love of Dark Souls types games, or Souls-like. And I love those games, but those are hard games to share with people who, especially who aren't into that type of either difficulty or world. And so I tried bringing a lot of things that I love from a Souls-like game and bring that into a more charming world that also is very welcoming to be in, and allows for co-op to be able to then share that with friends and family.
Awesome. I wanted to ask you a question about like your beginnings. Like I learned that you worked 2 jobs, you know, just to get through night school, you know, to be involved in gaming. So tell us about that journey, because it's very inspirational. A lot of people, especially us, we may not see ourselves in the positions that we want to see, and it's kind of discouraging. But what made you want to continue? Because that's rough, working 2 jobs, trying to go through school, and then night school at that. Let us know about that journey.
Yeah, so I've always been in art, and that's always something I was interested in. And it wasn't till I found out that you could like do these like 3D modeling, and that could be a career. And so I like early on or late high school, I knew that was something that I wanted to do. And so I was trying to find whatever I could, resources to get that. And yeah, I found a school where they would teach me, where they were teaching me stuff. And it really, like, even with school, like, I was like putting in extra time, like putting in hours afterwards during my lunch. I would try to find moments to practice my skills wherever I could. And yeah, that man, I haven't thought about that in a while. I'm like thinking back about all that. But
It sounds like a terrible time.
I've always had like a goal. I've always like had a goal to focus on, and like getting that game job. And so just putting in that extra time here and there, like trying to grow my skill set. I try to tell people now, like game development is very daunting, and all the things to make a game can be daunting, and the different disciplines could, but like you can break it apart into different skill sets and just practice here and there an hour. And there's plenty of resources online to pick up stuff, and plenty of groups and communities online and on Discord that you can share your stuff and get feedback and get critiques and guidance on how to do better. That's always been something that I try to do, even till now, making this.
That's amazing. Nell, you have anything else to add? Because I don't want to step on you and your questions, you know, like earlier.
Right,
So do
right, like you keep doing to me. No, no, I do have a question. You know, I feel your journey, I feel your struggle, but if you can go back, like go all the way back, like knowing what you know now, what would you do different?
I think
You got 2 minutes.
I was always
No pressure.
hesitant in making my own stuff, and I was never confident in myself to do that. And I think it takes, oh gosh, sorry, I'm watching the game.
This game looks amazing, by the way.
Thanks.
It's so
And
good.
so I didn't have that confidence, and so I always like kept on like I need to keep practicing my skills until I felt like I was ready. Like I really like, if you have a passion for making games or something about that, art, whatever it may be, like just start doing it. And like I said before, like it could just be a little time here and there, a half an hour after work, maybe during your lunch break, you practice a certain skill set or watch a tutorial. But just start now. I regret a little bit taking this long to start working on things, working on my own stuff.
So confidence. Hey, I gotta say, this looks amazing. You did an awesome job. Like, if you didn't have the confidence before, like, just looking at this should give you all the confidence you should ever need for the rest of your game development journey, because this is like really amazing.
Thanks.
So last but not least, I love to ask this question with different developers. This game, I could see partnering up with another project to have in their game. What project or what character you would love to have in Slime Heroes?
Whoa. Wow, I haven't actually thought about that. That's an interesting question. I mean, obviously, like, there's definitely inspiration, like having the slimes, like having it related to the anime, reincarnated as a slime. And so if there was some fun lore that could have been brought from there, that'd be fantastic. From that anime. But I mean, I always really appreciate the indie community and how how they just embrace each other and help each other, and like how you see a lot within indie games, like they're sharing their characters and helping each other out by doing those types of back and forth, like having their characters in different games. And so I'm happy to like collaborate with indie
If
games.
you're ever looking for a cameo, I got a couple characters ready to go. World premiere. we can make this happen. Just hit me up.
Yep, there we go. Yep, I'd be happy to like work something out. I just think
be awesome.
The indie community is amazing. Everyone's been super helpful, and any questions I have, and like helping me out there and getting feedback, and so I think that'd be a cool opportunity.
Well, thank you so much, Tomas, for sharing your project. I cannot wait to play it further. We're going to have to collab or co-op so I can get through this level if I see something cool earlier. But thank you so much, everyone. Be sure to check out Slime Heroes. Make sure y'all wish listed up. And
we're on Steam.
Thomas, let us know where we can find you.
Yep. The game's currently, or at least the store page is on Steam, so you can wish list it right now. You can check out all the current stuff getting worked on. I try to post on Twitter, so you can look up slime_heroes on Twitter and see what's new. There's also, I'm sure if you go on Twitter, or there's a Discord channel you can get onto, and occasionally I'll try to get testers on there and get feedback. So if you're really interested, try to get on that Discord, and you might be able to play it pretty soon.
Awesome. Well, you heard it from Tomas. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for having me.
All right, that game was dope.
That was amazing.
So
yeah. Did you
think
see
about
the size
it?
of Tomas? I saw the TV behind him. I want a TV like that. I want to be him when I grow up. But no, it did look amazing.
It did. I can't wait to play it. Wish listed up. So who we have next? We have James Lewis. We got Xbox in the building. So that's who's coming up next, and can't wait to chat with James.
So let me do an intro real quick. I met James a couple years back at the Black Game Mixer at GDC, and he was so amazing to me. He was so inspiring to me, and like he was just like super cool to talk to, and really inspired me to start my own projects. So everybody needs like somebody like that to guide them into that. I just wanted to give that brief intro as we bring in James, my boy.
He's in the lobby. He's in the lobby. What's up, James? Xbox is in the building.
Oh, wow. You guys are so kind. Thanks for having me. Aerial Knight, dude, that was so kind. Great to see you. Red Infamy, great to meet you. We haven't met before, but so great to meet you. Awesome. So,
James, time out.
Yeah. What's up?
Can anybody hear James?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear. I hear James a little bit.
Yeah, your mic's super low. So what we're gonna do is we gonna pull a death loop and rewind all of this back real quick.
How about now?
There you go. Okay, so what you said before, what you said before,
Yeah.
just do all that stuff over again.
Do it. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Thanks so much for having me. Just a blast to be here. Area Night, dude, that was so kind. Thanks for the kind words. I'm happy to be here. Red Infamy, so great to meet you. I was just checking out the last game, Slime Heroes, and I'm like, oh wow, this is amazing. Like Thomas did a wonderful job. I have no games to show, so I'm like, oh, I'm just here. I'm just a talking head. I hope this is going to be useful. My main goal today is to make sure that this is not my last time I get invited. So I am excited to be here.
No, but like, no, real quick, like what I said before is like the sentiment of so many people, especially Black game developers. Everybody knows James, and like it's weird to like meet somebody for the first time and bring up your name, and they just have their own story of meeting you and how helpful and like kind you were to them. I'm sure Red has her questions, but just to like kind of start it off,
Oh, of
can
course.
you tell us just a bit about how you made it into the spot that you are in to kind of know everybody and kind of be that like connection between people from all over the world?
Yeah, sure. Well, that's very kind, man. I'm glad that people have more nice things to say than hopefully not so nice things. But I've been at Xbox for I'm closing in on 10 years now, and I've served in a number of roles. I've been fortunate, so I've been everything from a producer with XBLA to I spent some time as a producer on one of our first party projects, Project Spark. But then it was when I went over to our third-party team and I was an account manager with ID at Xbox that I feel like my view of the industry just really exploded. And I started to meet and get inspired by so many awesome game developers across North America. And I was, I was just that. I was inspired. So my goal was to do everything I could to just, help, the titles and the partners that I had have success and it really introduced them to opportunities that existed within Xbox, etc. It's kind of interesting because I was having my philosophy around how I was working with my partners is I was like, I was having a kid at the time and we had like a midwife or doula. I'm blanking on what her name was. But I was like, hey, this is the person who, whenever we have a concern or a care about our baby, we call her. Whenever there's a kick or something that we don't know about, we call her and she reassures us what's going on. And I saw my role as an account manager working with my ID at Xbox partners. I know. But I saw my role as an account manager as doing the same for people who are creating. I mean, they're bringing their babies. They're bringing these things that they poured their passions, their resources, their hearts into. And they were saying, hey, James, how do we help it have success on this platform? How do we ensure that we're going to be in good hands? And so I took that role seriously of, hey, how can I help set them up for success? And then beyond that, I went over and I did some time in BD. I was on our first party BD team for a bit.
Wait,
where I had an amazing time just bringing business development. Thank you. I get into these
No, I generally didn't know. I wasn't asking for the audience, whatever.
Love it.
At least
Yeah.
you
So
stopped
business
it, 'cause I
development.
was-
Yes.
They should know. See, I just don't know things.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you asked, man. Like, to break it down, like business development, like that's how a lot of the opportunities happen, and so there's a wonderful team that just kind of goes out and they're meeting with developers and they're saying, hey, you should be talking to this person, or hey, maybe this opportunity works for you. So just being on the business side of it, coming from production and development, it really exposed me to another side of the industry and kind of helped me to see, okay, well, here's how we need to position things, or here are the different opportunities that we should be seeking. So business development is important. It's so important. And so I had a wonderful time with our first party BD team, but now I'm back working with our independent developers, and specifically with the ID at Xbox program, with the focus on like my personal passion and focus is around how can I help diverse creators, make sure that they understand the opportunities that exist with ID and with Xbox. And so that's a passion area for me and something I just wanted to, be able to chat about today.
Look,
but yeah.
Look, James, I need you to like take breaths while you're talking because you said all of that without breathing, and I don't know how you did it. because you went
Oh,
straight
he did
through
it
like a
in a
whole three
big pun
paragraphs.
type of way. He did it in a big pun type of way. Like it was. So
Right?
he probably
He
used to
was
rap.
selling,
He probably raps. He probably raps in
right?
his spare time.
Like
But
old
James,
school.
I feel left out because everybody has a great story and have met you. But I now finally get to meet you, which is so great, James. But I have a question for you in business development. So a lot of people that are very creative are frugal at times about their talent. Now, when you come and in communication with any developers and you see they have a shyness to them, how do you kind of get them amped and pumped up about developing their game on a business standpoint, like to just feed them the knowledge and let them know they're in good hands?
Yeah, that's a great question.
You lie.
I
No.
like, it was so interesting
That was a
because
bad joke. Sorry.
Tomas said it in the last segment where it was just like confidence. While we're all looking, I mean, everybody's looking at the stream, it's like, this is a beautiful game. This looks awesome. But he talked about the confidence that he needed. And, and I think, I'll be honest, there are a lot of people who've been in this industry for years that may not look like, the people that are on the stream right now. They have a lot of confidence and everything that they bring up. So my advice is just make sure that your passion, the why that you're doing it, shows up when you're presenting your information. Like it's not just the game that you're pitching, but it's also yourself. Like, people want to know your story. They want to know about you. And the more of that you can talk about when you're talking about your game and people can see that, like having a good story, like, and it's your story. So whatever your story is, make sure that's showing up and how you present, because people are investing in you when they're talking about these business deals. It's your game, yes, but it's also you, and so they need to be bought into not just the game, but who is this person? Is this a great person, somebody that we can see ourselves partnering with? So make sure that you include that and how you talk, and have that confidence, because you have a wonderful story and it deserves to be told.
Dale, what you got to add?
I didn't even say anything.
I mean, you're the game dev here. So
okay.
what do you have to add to the confidence factor?
I thought you were commenting on the faces that I was making. Add to the confidence. No, because my fake confidence comes out and people like it. I do have a question for you, James. Who's your favorite developer to work with?
just a setup question. Wow,
that looked like the light shined brighter on you during that question.
Yeah. I love it.
Me? It does. Okay, outside of Aerial Knight, outside of him.
Thank you for qualifying. Thanks for. Oh wow, that's hard. I would say, man, I've worked with so many awesome people, and dude, Neil, meeting you and just seeing just how your game come out, and then seeing how hard it is. But I beat it, and I almost called you when I beat it because I was so excited that I made it through the last level, man. But I really appreciate the journey. So it's really, there's so many developers. I think, honestly, one that stands out in my mind just because it was a big moment. When I was an account manager, I worked with, Studio MDHR. They were shipping Cuphead, and we worked hard to like figure out, hey, do we announce a date? And this is years and years ago. But this is at the time that E3, we actually put up the pre-order and said, hey, the game is coming. We had a date and the pre-order is going live. And like that moment, just really stood out to me as like, that was seeing someone's dream come to life in that way was just really awesome. And so I take that forward because I'm like, hey, there's so many other people out there that have these dreams and they have and they put in their sweat and tears. And so I just get excited about helping people realize those dreams. And so that one stands out as like the goal, because I know we're going to see more people have that same moment, and I'm excited about that.
That's great to hear.
Sorry, we're
now you stepping on me.
Sorry, I'm stepping on you. We're gonna add a little bit of time. Just real quick, James. Like, with like where you're at now, like what kind of changes or like what do you like to see going forward in the game industry, to kind of help promote some of these voices?
Yeah. Well, look, we have aspirations to reach like a lot of gamers. I mean, we want to reach billions of gamers. we can't do that by continuing to only work with the developers that we're working with now. We have to find more diversity in the development community, and we have to create opportunities for more developers to have a voice, because they're going to welcome in new audiences. So I'm inspired and excited by like how we're going. What are the stories that we haven't seen? What are the genres that we haven't discovered? Who are the voices that we need to have in gaming right now? Like I'm really excited about that. So part of the work that I do, at Xbox, is to seek out those voices, is to make sure that those voices know about the work that we're doing. So yeah, that's where I see the industry going. That's what I'm most excited about, is seeing how we can start to change this thing up and welcome more people into this thing we call gaming. But yeah.
Nice.
So, Black at Xbox, I remember when the project first went up, the perception and reception of it. Now that hoodie you have on, I see the controller. It looks. I'm gonna need y'all to come out with. Y'all are known for the great custom controllers. I have one of mine right here. So it would be dope if y'all would come out with a Black at Xbox controller. That would be dope. I'm putting that out there. I want to be added when it happens, and y'all can send one over. But can you please let us know what Black at Xbox is all about and what the program initiates and represents?
Absolutely. I'm +1 on the controller. Thanks for mentioning that. I'll take that back for sure. Blacks at Xbox, I mean, it's an internal group. It's Black people who are at Xbox, and we found each other and we said, I see you. How can we come together? How can we talk about, hey, what are some of the things that matters to us? So right now, our mission is to connect, uplift, and grow Black game developers and the Black gaming community. And so we do things that focus on, our internal employees and making sure that they feel safe and heard and seen. But we also try to do things in the community and make sure that we're helping to educate and inspire young people to move into gaming and to create, and also partnering with some other organizations to create space for the awesome work that they're doing and helping with sponsorships and a lot of that stuff. So that's what BAX is. That's, you can see the logo here, but yeah, it's Blacks at Xbox. It's just about us trying to be the change that we want to see in the industry and just do some positive stuff. But yeah.
Awesome. So for 2022, what's some initiatives you would love to see with both projects that you're a part of?
Oh, that's wonderful. I appreciate that question. So one is, we really have been thinking about, hopefully our conventions and things like that will be back on board, and then we can start talking about, hey, what do we do in person again, and hopefully seeing people in person. But we're talking about, getting in front of young people, making sure that young people see the wonderful faces that exist within Xbox and other companies, so that they can be inspired. When they see, Red Infamy, when they see Neil, people get inspired by that. And so we want to do our role to ensure that we're getting in front of young people and letting them know there's a lot of ways you can be in gaming. And you don't necessarily have to be a programmer or a designer, but you could be in BD, finance, legal. There are so many different ways that you can touch this world in gaming. So we want to continue to do that. But then, and that's from the BAX perspective. And then from the, from the work that I happen to do with ID, I want to continue to meet more people. I want to continue to, hear about the ideas that people have. If people don't know about the programs within Xbox or ID at Xbox, then I want to make sure we solve for that. I want to make sure that people, they are making a conscious choice, and so if they don't choose to come to the platform, great, but hopefully about the opportunities. And so part of my goal is to just make sure people understand the opportunities and have clear understanding. And so
Yeah, and just to add to that real quick, I think, there's a general, like James was saying, there's a general lack of knowledge of how many jobs is in the game industry that's outside of art and programming. There's so many spots for people. So if you want to be a part of the game industry, I would highly motivate you to kind of just look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no matter what you're studying at the moment. Indeed. So James, where can we find you besides at Xbox if you want that to be known?
Yes, sure. Yeah, of course. So, so I have a Twitter. I have you can be my 9th follower at Shownuff32 on Twitter.
That's your Twitter name too? I saw that in Discord, but I didn't know that was your Twitter name too. I thought that name was amazing. I saw that. I was like, Shownuff.
Showed
Man, I
up.
feel old. I got that
I should
reference. I
probably
feel like
have
Captain
a
America.
I should probably have a more professional Twitter handle or name or
Nah,
whatever. I am
I'm
so
No,
man.
no.
I'm Ariel Knight. Come on, it doesn't matter. No one cares.
Yeah, it's Red Infamy over here.
And
Like, no.
thank you for adding me into that. You know, you were talking about young people, and I was like, ugh. But you included me in that, so I appreciate that a lot because every time I ask my niece to do something with me, she rolls her eyes, and I feel old. So now I can take this clip and rub it in her face and
that's
be like,
right.
yeah,
That's
no one
right.
likes you.
You took it too far. No, I was messing. No, they either
He's a
Twitter
jerk.
or LinkedIn. People can find me on LinkedIn as well. But yeah,
Dope.
reach out. I'm James Lewis on LinkedIn and Twitter again. That's Shownuff32. But yeah, reach out. I'd love to connect and meet people. But thank you again just for having me. Like this is dope. Hopefully, I will be invited back. Hopefully I didn't mess it up too bad. But yeah.
No, that's Neil's job.
Yeah. See, I'm the one who's not gonna get invited back. You're fine.
I might get clipped too, but it's gonna be all right. It is gonna be all right. Thank you so
You're
much,
gonna get clipped by
James, for
association.
sharing. For real. Thank you so much for joining us. All the great things that's happened at Xbox Blacks at Xbox and ID. So we are moving on to our next game. So let us know what it is, Neil, and we're going to see the trailer for Cold Fortune. What's your thoughts on it before we go in?
So I played it.
I've been out here a long time.
What's wrong?
My old mentor taught us to see the world through a prism. He called it the Vantage.
Snowman.
Karma steers.
Cold Fortune. My bad, Neil. I had set you up, and then
You
you
set
got
me
cut
up,
off.
and then
It was kind of to get you back at the ad libs at the beginning of the show, but you know I love you. But
you got
Cold
me. You
Fortune,
got me.
we're here with Mark. I do not want to mess up your last name, Mark, but I'm gonna try. But Mark, how are you doing? Mauricio. No, it was
Yeah,
it was
that's
great. It
that's
lets
an
me know
epic
that my
trailer.
headphones is on point. Like, for real. But thank you so much for being here and sharing Cold
sure.
Fortune. So please let us know about you and also your project that you have going on.
Yeah, so I've been working in like games and film since like 2011, and but I've had like Cold Fortune on a back burner for a couple years before that, and I've been working on AAA titles from here and there, like Titanfall and Resident Evil, a lot of Call of Duties, and I just wanted to finally like kind of use my experience in a way that it could be used to make to make a game, and I started working on this about 18 months ago, kind of in the middle of the pandemic, since I had the time, and here we are.
All right. I
And
love like I'm sorry, but your background, I just wanted to mention your background like in motion capture, because to go from motion
Oh.
capture to then development, how is
Yeah.
that like?
I mean, it's not a huge jump because I started in motion. Well, I'm still in motion capture, right? But I started in motion capture, and I started with doing a lot of like mocap and animation stuff like that, and working with different game design or game
My name is
developer
Doug.
teams. And
I've been out here a
at
long time.
at a certain point, I was able to get into
Every
a
day
developer
is
company
a
under
danger.
Activision,
A
and so I
new
got even more
perspective.
experience working
It's the
specifically
only
with a
thing
team
keeping us
developing a
all alive.
specific type of game,
My old mentor
and
taught us to see
those
the
were Call
world
of
through a
Duties,
prism.
and just
The Vantage.
I'm not a person that
To
likes to
survive
stay
this
in my
world, we
lane,
have to master
uh,
the
so I
unknown
like to
environments.
I talk to programmers, and I'm like sitting with programmers. I talk to animators and directors, and I'm trying to just get as much information as I can to, one, help the game get better, but also learn for myself. So I just took my experience with motion capture, animation, and programming, and just game design, which is actually, I'm learning kind of on the job, and filmmaking and storytelling. And I'm like, okay, let me do a thing that that I can call my own, and that's kind of what happened. So it wasn't a huge jump, but it was a slow jump.
Wow,
If that
Neil,
makes
So,
I'm
sense.
gonna let you go because I seen Detroit, and that's your
yeah,
whole
that's
town.
that's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. So,
Yeah.
what made you put it in Detroit?
We don't have time.
I'm from Detroit, and so,
You from Detroit?
oh
I'm from
yeah,
Detroit.
yeah.
I know
You're from
Detroit.
Detroit.
Let's
I know
go.
you're from Detroit. So there's Detroit all up in the game. But so in fact, you can see the Renaissance Center if you go to a certain spot. You can go see the Renaissance Center.
Oh
Anyway,
man,
so what was the question?
I don't even know. I said,
Oh,
why'd you put it in Detroit? You said you're from
oh
Detroit.
well,
That's all I
yeah,
needed
because
to
I'm from
know. You're
Detroit.
good.
Yep, that's it. I'm from Detroit. It's a place I
It's
know.
really cinematic.
That's
What
Yeah.
yes.
made you go like the more cinematic route with it?
Because I'm a storyteller. I went to school and did 3D animation, and I did live action stuff, and I love storytelling cinematically. I love the medium, and there were games that kind of achieved that really well, like Heavy Rain and like Shenmue and Asura's Wrath and Detroit, the game, not the city, and I'm like, yeah, I
Become Human
love
game.
that. Yeah, Become Human, and even from way back, like Resident Evil 2 and Fatal Frame 2, they were all cinematic. They were kind of limited with their engine capabilities at the time, but I'm like, yeah, I want to play a game where it just feels like a movie the whole time, and like the player kind of creates the film essentially. So I wanted a game that kind of never broke that type of lore. Oh, there goes the Ren Center right there,
Yep.
right in the back. So that's why it's like cinematic, which is a harder. That's probably one of the larger challenges. Is just finding a way to make a game cinematic the whole time, as opposed to like a third-person shooter where you put the camera on the back of the character and never think about it again. Oh, you went into save. How did you even? Oh, that's the escape menu.
So tell us about the character and creating your
So-
own story. What is this? What is Cold
So-
Fortune about?
Ooh. So a long time ago, I have a twin brother. He had a dream, and he called me over, and he's like, "Hey, like, I had this dream. It was crazy," and he just described it to me. And what he described kind of was this, and I'm like, that's fascinating. So I just kind of held it in my mind for a while, and at one point, I was in college, and I had a comic book class, and I'm like, hey, can I use your idea to make a comic out of it? And he's like, yeah, sure. So I ended up making a comic book that's about 30 pages or so long, and it was just really about a group of people trying to survive, and I based all the characters off people I knew, because I really, at the time, I'm like 20 or something. I wasn't really kind of skilled at like creating characters with backstories, so I just found all the weirdest friends that I had, and made them characters. And then
Yeah, you're just walking in corners right now while you're talking.
yeah, you go. You about to die, bro. You want me to? There's a compass. You can probably. It'll point you the right way.
We got it. No, keep talking about how you stole your brother's idea. We don't figure this out.
But I asked for permission, and he said yes. He regrets it now. However, I have had the opportunity through the Black Game Dev Fund to, when I was bring on a team, and when we were shooting like motion capture stuff. How'd you even? When we were shooting, pro tip: you can skip the movies with spacebar, so you can just go right back into it.
My name is.
Look, I make games. I don't got to be good at them.
Fair enough. And so I've had
that was totally my fault, though. This is game stuff.
Yeah. You can or I had my brother fly out, so he's been a part of the game development as well as a character. So I've had him like play bad guys. I had him play a wolf, and then later down the line, he'll play his own character. So all the characters are based off real people, and I wanted to tell a story where I didn't see, like, with characters that I don't normally see in movies, and certainly not even in games. Like, one of the characters, the AI that's following you, she's a Vietnamese Latina with like family problems, and like she has trust issues, and like the main characters are like Haitian black characters, and the main character like follows like Taoist doctrines, and so
Yeah,
it's
see
just
the whole
things that
Naruto of you.
yeah. So there's some hidden ninja stuff all over the place.
I see.
I don't even know, how are you even doing this? But
Where to go in the demo? Where to
I don't even know how you're looking at. Hit like number 1 on your keypad. Where are you? Are you dead? What happened? Ooh, buddy. Oh, there. You done broke
Next
the game.
squad, hit the one.
I don't even know how you did it, Neil. I don't know how you did it. I don't know what you did.
Look. Let's not focus on me. Let's focus
Like,
on you.
No, granted, for sure. Like, you should just be able to hit literally forward and just be fine. I don't know how you did that, Neil. But you know, it's my fault. It's my fault. I have no idea.
It's really not though.
You should just be able to walk forward and end up in the right spot. But I appreciate you.
My small question, I just want to slide in
Yes.
there real quick. I'm always interested in how people come up with like the names of their games. So where did the name Cove? I mean, you know, I kind of got it now, but
Sure.
where did you originally come up with the name?
Honestly, it was the first name and the only name that came to mind. Just because I knew the story was like the comic book is real bleak. Like, you know, all these characters are like they're trying to survive, and you know, everyone is kind of like fated to die in the comic book, and everyone's fated to die in the cold. So I wanted to tell a story about like loss and like just struggle and strife. And the game also has vengeance, but the comic didn't have that. And I just like, after thinking about it for about a day, I was just like, Cold Fortune. That's the name. There was nothing else after that, and there was no negotiation. That was it. And I had to like put it on the comic book, the title, and I was like, I'm going to do it in ink, and so it was permanent from then on. So it just popped in. I wish there was
names of games are always the best stories.
They are, and I wish I had like a different story. Like I was like, nope, it just kind of popped in there, and I never considered anything else. That's interesting.
So I have a question.
Yes.
With the comics, and then of course the game.
Mm-hmm.
Did you write it, or with your team, did you have it that it coincides, or you could learn something from both mediums?
You can learn something from both for sure, and there's a lot of overlap. In fact, there's a lot of gameplay elements and just overall game design that comes from the comic, or comes from the challenges they faced in the comic. Like in the comic, they face a pack of wolves. And if Neil gets far enough, he'll deal with those wolves, and then you know, just dealing with like groups of people. Oh yeah, Neil, there you go. So if you think of it, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Use them cameras. Look
In my
around.
defense, I was able to do it yesterday when I was playtesting this stuff, and it was scary, so I had to stop.
Yeah. Fair enough. And so the story for the game kind of just adds one more layer, and that's that kind of vengeance layer. So there's a kind of a story that kind of rests in Deck's past, or the main character's past, and then everything's kind of like coming up to screw everybody over. So there's a mostly kind of survival type of story. It's like they're just trying to get from point A to point B. Like they're just trying to get out of Detroit. That's kind of like the framework of the project.
As most people do.
As most, I left Detroit. I'm in LA now, and there is, you know, story wise and gameplay wise, like there's like little elements, little clues here and there to the story as well. Like if like Neil, I'm not gonna tell him now, but he passed a secret doorway that he can go down. There's some secret items and like armor items in there. Not so fun. Going back.
See, I would have looked everywhere. I'm the person that I'm trying to look at every nook and cranny to make sure I am prepared for sure. Go ahead.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, yeah. If Neil, if he looks at, you know, he's got those camera views in there, like 1, 2, and 3, that are kind of represented on that dial on his lower left. He can use those camera angles to look at, like, hey, what's going on? Like, yeah, so if he kind of walks in that way, yeah. So there's
That's
lots of
interesting.
places to
Where did
go.
where did that mechanic come from, or how did you think of that?
How did I think of that? Well, I knew that like Resident Evil 2 and Fatal Frame, like you don't have control of cameras you pick. You just kind of go into an area and there's one camera. And I thought, like, well, I want to kind of bind some of the gameplay to the camera. So you won't see paths, you won't see certain items unless you see them in camera. So like by giving the oh yeah, there's a secret door over there too. But so giving the player the option to look at their environment through multiple camera angles, I can kind of, help reward the camera, or reward the character, or reward the player for looking at different things. Man, he's going backwards. I don't know how. Yeah, man.
I would have been scared. I would have been scared. Like, it has that heightened effect of like what's about to happen, and I see like you put a lot of your experience into this game too. On like you mentioned Resident Evil, and you mentioned the storytelling as well. What I wanted to ask, what does it mean to you to actually create your own project and have a diverse group of characters and people that probably represent you as well?
I mean, honestly, like it's actually incredibly important, and I didn't even realize how important it was until probably this year when I was like doing a lot of back and forth between the game and the comic, and I realized that in the comic book, there's 7 characters in the comic book. 2 of them are black, and the other 5 are white men, and I have no idea why. That's just how it kind of just happened to shape all the characters, and so when I came to like, okay, I want to do something with there you go, Neil. Yeah, there you go. I want to do something with, keep going forward, Neil. Just keep going forward. When I want to do something with more people being representative of different cultures and ideologies and ethnicities and stuff like that. So I like started to change the characters and add female characters that weren't there originally in the comic book, just because there was no reason to stay, I guess, landlocked to what was in the comic in terms of like the characters and stuff. So it was actually really important. In fact, like a lot. So that, oh, you died. You ran out of stamina, bro. You haven't been eating. You haven't been drinking.
Oh, this is survival based too.
Yeah. So your stamina will always deplete, and like so that kind of inclusivity has become more and more important, especially after just the George Floyd kind of revolution and stuff like that, where you just want to see more people we don't see in popular media as often. And it wasn't really important to me when I was younger because I wasn't really, there.
You didn't
but now
see
that
it,
I'm
so
older,
you didn't think about it.
Yeah. So
Well,
now,
no, like
I'm just
Detroit
like,
specifically. When you're in Detroit,
I
everybody's
mean, you
black.
get to see people around
yeah.
you, but when you get to see stuff on TV and your entertainment type stuff, you don't think that, oh, you could be a part of it because you don't quite see it as often.
Yeah, and especially like working on games and film, I was seeing a lot of different projects, and you remember the ones that like, oh, there's a black lead, or oh, there's an Israeli lead. You just remember them because they're very far and few in between.
Yeah, that's how
especially
I feel about Afro Thunder. You remember Afro Thunder?
I
Man.
remember. I didn't watch it too much.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was my favorite character because he was like the only one. But no, just to your point, that's all.
Yeah, like Eddie Gordo and the like all these like black characters. Oh yeah, hey. But no, that was a fantastic question because it's just something that never really occurred to me until later, for sure.
So the background, is that Star-Lord? Like, what's going on? Who's that?
That's Ant-Man.
That's standing
Oh,
in the
that's
back?
Ant-Man.
Is that Ant-Man?
Yeah, that's Ant-Man. He's
Okay,
blocking.
so-
There's like a light back there. It's a little.
So I got to know how often do you wear it because you got to rock that.
Ant-Man. Exactly.
So I wear it like once every Halloween. Like that's essentially it.
Once,
Uh,
man, every weekend.
It's heavy. It's heavy. I would wear it more, but it's really heavy. It's like
I'm going to
it's
the
like
gym in that. Like they not gonna take
you.
it off
I
me.
did
I'm
I
gonna
did
embarrass
once.
everybody.
It's like all leather. It's binding. It's like, oh, you can't breathe in there. It's fun though. It is fun. I get into any bar I want. No questions asked
They get
when
all
you're
the
wearing it.
That's
discounts.
dope.
No con needed. Well, we appreciate you so much, Mark, for actually
100%.
letting us know about your story and letting us know about Cold Fortune. Is there anything else you want to let us know? When can we
Uh,
see it? When it's going to come
yes.
out? And to wish list
Keep
it up.
so it's too early for a wish list, but the demo, we're adding a lot more stuff to the demo over the next 4 or 5 months. More combat, more just stuff, and refining some stuff. Get it Neil proof, and then we we're
Sorry.
going to no, it's okay. We're going to be posting stuff on the Discord, and you can. I always post links to the Discord on my Instagram, which is that mocap guy on Instagram, or you can find me on LinkedIn as my name, Mark Mariso, or you can find the group Frostware Games or Frostware on LinkedIn as well to just keep up to date with the game. And then there should be a demo coming out relatively soon, and we'll just I should be posting a my gameplay video.
Hey.
Should be going up. No, should be going up pretty soon, just so that people can kind of see like where the whole map is, because there's like 22 minutes at least worth of gameplay if you like go around and find everything and stuff like that. So there should be a gameplay video coming up within the next day or so. So keep an eye on that, and that'll pop up on.
No,
I mean, yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I mean, I can put it up now, but I'll wait a day. So
I
yeah,
love
that'll go up.
individual like Twitters and individual Instagrams. You go straight directly to the person making the thing.
Right to it.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep,
Well, thank you
sure.
so much, Mark. I appreciate
Thank
you
you for
coming
having
through.
me.
Thank
I appreciate being
you.
here. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
So Cold
Cool.
Fortune, make sure y'all stay tuned to it. And we have another special. We got a lot of special, wonderful guests that are coming through. And our
All of them.
next guest is Kirk Scott. We have Kirk Scott in the lobby, hopefully. And he's going to let us know about his ventures at Rocket Ride. Kirk, how are you doing?
Yo, what's up, Kurt?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
We're doing wonderful. We're amped. We're seeing all these wonderful
Awesome.
games and projects and everything. But let us know about you,
I want to
Kirk.
play that last game. I want to play that last game. My gosh, it was amazing.
Cool.
You guys are doing. I mean, all the creators in this show. I just want to work with all of them. And right now, I'm at Rocket Ride Games, and we launched a program called Liftoff. Rocket Ride Games is a full-service agency, and when I say full service, we have production resources, we have design resources, and we have a large biz dev team that just creates opportunities for developers all over the world. It's a great place to be. So, hi Neil, it's good to see you.
So, Kurt.
Yeah.
See, we
so
all know each other.
Liftoff
It's crazy.
That's right.
This is my first
it's
time
wild.
meeting Kirk, so don't say that. This is my first time.
Oh,
It's a special
sorry.
moment right here, okay? Special
So-
moment.
When I joined Rocket Ride about 15, 16 months ago, they allowed me to carve out a little piece of the business that uses all the resources of Rocket Ride to create opportunities in the video game industry for BIPOC and underrepresented groups, which is really cool. I mean, I think, in this day and age, all these video game companies need to carve out a piece of their business of what they do best and really kind of focus on underrepresented groups and Black folks. So we use all of our skills and expertise at Rocket Ride Games to make the game shine on a worldwide stage. Good example of that is, I'll work with a guy like Neil to get Aerial Knight out there, and we go and get his pitch tight. We go and get him the money from the publishers and get his game funded. And right now we're looking at probably 2022. I think we're going to have anywhere from 5 to 8 games that we're focused on in the Liftoff program. Now, if you go to RocketRideGames.com, along the top you'll see Liftoff. You click on Liftoff, you can get all the info about the program that we're doing, and you can actually go in there and there's a form you can sign up and you can talk to me. We'll sit down, talk about your game, talk about what we can do, using the full resources of Rocket Ride Games.
Wow.
Dope. It's
So
really
Mitch
accessible.
and Neil, yeah, it is very accessible because I mean, we've all been in the industry for quite some time, and with indie developers, a lot of times they didn't have so much of a voice or platforms that we have today. Like from your past ventures, like of course we seen you with Nintendo. Like what have you seen that's different working more with more indie developers, especially because I love the 3-tier like focus y'all have. Like y'all have the recognize, strategy, and execute. What's some of the differences you've seen and what you appreciate more to get new up and coming game developers, and especially Black and people of color that you didn't recognize at your past ventures?
Well, I think, through Liftoff and with Rocket Ride, we really focus on the journey that the developer has in getting these pixels on screen or these polys on screen. So we think it's just as important to tell the story of how you got there and the game that you're making, because a lot of these indie games, there's an undertone. What people don't understand, they're playing these games, and really what it is it's the story of, it could be mental illness. It could be, just the struggle of a Black developer getting their game made and the story of their family. I think it's just as important to tell that story as it is to get them funding and get that game, launched. Right. So it's a lot of it is, these stories that are being told in these indie games are really deep. And I think, people that look like us, we're all playing games. So, and it's not
But the top
impossible to get out
consumers
there
of
and
it.
get your game made. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, there shouldn't be any secrets. If there's Black game developers out there making games, let's get them in the forefront and let's have our people playing these games. And finding out that it's really not a magic trick to get your game published and get on screen. You just need some support and you need some help, and we're here to do that.
Yep. Awesome.
Now you have anything to add?
Neil and
'Cause
I
you're
have
the-
had
you're
this
the dev
conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like me and
Yeah,
Kurt, we didn't had a couple long conversations over Zoom about this very thing. It's really just important not only for developers to kind of support each other, which is like one of my main focuses. Is like given that I feel like every year there's 1 or 2 people get the juice, the Black person in the game industry for that year. But it's that person's responsibility to kind of make sure that they highlight other people who don't necessarily get that shine, as well as the game industry for kind of fixing that problem of like only like kind of having the attention span for 1 or 2 people in the first place.
That's right. And what's cool is a lot of publishers out there now are carving out a little bit of their business to focus on BIPOC and underrepresented groups. So we speak directly to those publishers and that have those programs, and we get pitch our games that are going through the Liftoff program to them directly. It's a really tightly curated process, and we're happy about it. I just wish we could support more. I wish there was 5 of me so we could have 50 games a year that we're running through this, because there's enough content that these publishers all need to know about it, and it's all about just getting it out there. And we do a lot of coaching too at Liftoff. We help you with your game pitch. We help you with your design a little bit. And that goes a long way, especially for new game developers that are out there and that have day jobs that are making their games at night. It's important to give them the support that they need and get out there and do the biz dev operations for them so that they can get the best exposure for their games.
Awesome. Have you ever, just kind of seeing more of what Liftoff is about? Have you ever also considered like schools and also seeing what some young talent in game development? Because you mentioned you have people who are working 9 to 5. There's also some students too, even in high school, or even younger than that. Because nowadays it's like, okay, gaming careers have started at 9. I'm like, wait a minute. Like,
That's right.
so,
Yeah.
have you ever considered any projects or the next steps, or even moving into 2020, some things you want to do on a scholastic level as well?
Yeah, I'm more than willing to talk to students. I've done the USC school before. I've been there and talked to them. I think that they have a great infrastructure at a lot of these schools, and it really teaches these kids how to launch their games and what to do in the business side. So they're really being heavily coached there. I would say that the schools just really need to keep doing that, and then when the students are ready to go kind of pro, they can come to Rocket Ride and be like, hey, I got a game, let's work on my pitch, and let's start pitching it to publishers, because that's really where the special sauce comes in, is when you start pitching it. We have games on paper that we have gotten picked up by publishers before, just on that promise. And, if you can prove you can get the game done on paper and walk it through with the publishers, then they'll trust you with the money and they'll give you the money. So that's what we want to do. We want to get more Black game developers funded, and get their games on screen. It's important.
Yeah.
Awesome. I know, Neil, you have anything? Because you're going,
No,
doing a
like
double Dutch Street
Kurt
Fighter
already.
ready.
Well, I'm just like I'm just ready all the time. I'm just ready to go. No, Kurt, he hit the nail on the head. Like, I don't even have anything to add to that. You good when you keep me quiet.
I'm sorry, I don't have a game for you to play, Neil. You guys, I saw the last one. I was like, oh man, I want to play this game. So it's just
is there any?
Soon, so
You don't have a demo, but I did want to ask: is there any talent, if you want to say, is there any some talent that you're looking forward to be a part of your program that you've seen out in the wild?
Neil's next game, and love to work with him on that.
Go there. Not even gonna go there yet.
Yeah.
I need a nap and a year vacation, and then we can figure that out.
I heard that. Yeah, congrats on that launch. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we're excited about at Rocket Ride. There's a lot of concepts that are coming through that we're like, wow, this is amazing, and we just can't wait to work on it with them and do some announcements. I'd love to be able to announce some games here, but I can't do that right now.
We almost had it exclusive.
Tamika tried to get me.
I failed at my job as a journalist. I was trying to get the exclusive.
Yeah,
I was trying to get
you learned. You almost had them. You was right there. We
had it.
One more push.
2022, we will talk again, and we will talk about some of the games that are being launched, and introduce you to the developers that we're working with, and it's going to be great. And we're probably going to put them on the webpage too. I mean, we have quotes on there from the guys at Decoy.
That's my brothers, Decoy Games, Ahmad Khalil.
Yep.
Yeah, shout out to Decoy.
Those guys are great. Yep. So those guys are great. I've been working with them for years on some of their stuff. So, just promising young talent like that we'll be bringing through. So it'll be great. It'll be fun.
Nice.
All right. Thanks so much, Kirk. Oh, you have another one?
Oh,
I'm sorry. You're going to close out.
If there's anything else you want to...
No.
All right. I got you. This is what I got for you. Yo, thank you so much for being here, Kirk. If there's anything else that you'd like to tell the people out there, even if you want to tell them to support any developers, or where to check out some more Black game developers, or these Black-based games that you you care so much about and want to kind of support, please just let us know where we can find that kind of stuff. Boom.
It's at you can. Thank you. Yeah, you can go to rocketridegames.com. And in the navigation bar at the top, Liftoff. Click on Liftoff. You can talk to me there. You can interface with us, find out what the program's all about. It's for BIPOC and underrepresented groups. So we're working with all kinds of studios there. We have clients in Colombia. We have clients in India. There's just amazing creative games all over the world, which is great. You can interface with us at rocketridegames.com.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thanks so much, Kirk, for joining us today. We appreciate the gems that was dropped. and also the resources too. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Tamika and Neil. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Sorry, Tamika.
right,
I feel like I'm
so-
stepping on your toes. I'm just a squirrel. You know,
No,
it's your
bro,
world.
listen, no, you helping out. You know, I appreciate you. So to segue into the question I was trying to get out of Kirk, let's check out some games and projects that couldn't be here today, but we would love to show you all.
Hey everyone, I'm one of the developers here at Interrobang Entertainment, and today we wanted to give you a quick update about Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch. Chronic Blunt Punch is a single-player or co-op side-scrolling beat-em-up that features many of the wacky, lovable characters that you know and recognize from the View Askew universe, as well as a ton of brand new faces created specifically for the game, whether it's bearded boxing hipsters, phone-addicted drones, or pretzel-headed thugs. You may even recognize a few familiar faces from Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl. Let's give you a quick breakdown of the gameplay. When playing single player, you control both Jay and Bob, with the ability to switch between the two characters at will by tagging in and out. You can even do tag attacks, swapping with your partner mid-combo when things get a little too dangerous. You'll find that both Jay and Bob have a ton of different combos they can perform, some on the ground and even in the air. And if one of the characters dies and the partner is still alive, there may be a special way you can revive them, but let's talk about that on another update. That's going to be it from us today, but please be sure to stay tuned for more updates on the game in the future. Thanks for watching.
Interview 38. The disappearance. ISIS has the dinner plates. Can you even hear me? I know the time is difficult and I don't mean to pry, but I need to know if you just watch your friends and family die. It was an accident. There's a theory going. We don't think you did it. There's no way of knowing. The unblinking red light means you're exposed, means you are raw, means you're on the record. Can you see? I see that it's inside you. I see that it's inside you. I see that it's inside you. I see that it's inside. I see that it's inside you. I see that it's inside you. I see that it's inside you. Inside you. Inside you.
Over starts again. Wake up, my champion. Go find new companions. Defeat new enemies. Decide their fate. Go and save Gora.
Hey everyone, I'm Nick, developer of Great Force Mask of the Goddess, a real-time tactical shoot-'em-up inspired by classics like Mega Man Battle Network, with challenging fights on grid-based arenas. Don't be fooled by the easy-to-pick-up gameplay. Great Force is hard, so expect to die,
Okay.
and die,
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
and die.
No! Oh.
To master the game, you need to master its systems. First, choose your squad members wisely. Each of the 30+ characters have a unique game style that can change the course of the battle. For example, Bird's Egg Bomb skill is efficient against enemies with a lot of HP. The story of Great Force is expansive and unlocks many new units, and with them, completely new strategies. During battles, make sure you manage your squad's energy, swapping characters on the fly and using their unique abilities to maximize damage and corner your enemies. Simply spamming your attacks can be fatal. Is the enemy too strong? Level up your characters, boosting their stats and unlocking new active and passive skills. And final tip, never stop moving. There are situations where enemies will attack you from everywhere. If you stay still, you die. Great Force will be released on PC and consoles in 2022. Play the demo available on Steam and wishlist now.
Hi, I'm Alex, the creative director at Softnut Week.
And I'm Rayjon, lead UI UX and audio at Softnut Week, and we're excited to show you Spirit Swap, lo-fi beats to match 3-2.
If you haven't seen our game before, it's a puzzle game inspired by the classic Panel de Pon / Tetris Attack, Pokemon Puzzle League, where you can vibe in our endless mode or get competitive with your friends.
Make friends, date friends, and enjoy a world of new Millennium translucent neon vibes, jelly fashion, plant magic, thirst, and being unapologetically ourselves.
In Versus mode, you'll be able to play against a cast of hotties, like Mo, your childhood best friend who just went through a breakup with the town himbo, and Canon, a literal angel walking the earth that no one will believe is a literal angel walking the earth.
Here you have Samar and Leon duking it out with a swath of combos and cascades to overload each other with garbage. As you swap it up, you'll build magic on your meter to trigger spells that'll save you from lockouts or freeze up the competition, putting a new spin on classic gameplay. And we've got a lot more where that came from.
That's it for today. Be sure to wishlist the game on Steam or hop into our Discord to chat with the team as we go through development.
And thank you to The Mix for letting us share with y'all today. And thanks to you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
We're back. Make sure you all check out a lot of those games that were showcased, but we have a really dope guest that is coming up in a dope game. It's one of my favorites I couldn't wait to hear about, and that is Samurai Zero from Marlow Ethos. So let's check out the trailer.
The Blazing Cliffs. Only the Wuta would be stubborn enough to make their home on the side of a volcano. Watch your step.
before.
Hold your head up high. Oof.
We about to kick it up a notch like we on a whole nother level now. We about to be wildin'.
It's so dope.
That's dope. But we have Marlo in the lobby. Let's see. Is he in the lobby? We can't wait to hear from Marlo to talk more about
Oh, you have
Samurai
Marlo?
Zero. Marlo, what's
Hey.
going on, bro?
How's everyone doing?
Cool.
Everything is great. So introduce yourself. I've known you from watching your content creation for years with Gaming Illuminati, and now you have a game out. Like that is very inspiring. So let us know more about you.
Yeah, so my name is Marlo, but a lot of people on the internet know me as Gaming Ethos or Ethos. I've been in the content creation space for pretty much close to a decade with a great individual of other, Black gamers known as the Game Illuminati. We've been doing this for like a very long time. I kind of lost track. And those are my brothers. We've been through thick and thin, from everywhere from content creation, Twitch streaming, stream team, media, like the whole 9 yards, E3. We've been, all over the place. Shout outs to my other brother, Black Okage. He recently is now on G4. So we're all doing our different things here. And so I'm now on, congrats to him. And now I'm on this path now doing game dev. So it's really cool to see how we're branching out over the years and doing our own unique things. I think it's really awesome.
I love it because you give inspiration to me to make a game one day, coming from reporting and content creation. So I have to ask, what made you say, okay, I'm playing these games, now I want to make them?
So I think it was like twofold. I think originally when I started doing content creation, I was getting a lot of feedback from people who were saying like, I really like the way that you analyze games, the way that you talk about games. I think it brings a really unique perspective that we don't see a lot. A lot of people were like, yo, like these are great ideas. It would have been cool if you would make a game. And I've had experience beforehand, like when I was back in high school, I did little like fan games. Like I did some anime fan games. The legal aspect of it was very, shady, but it was like little personal projects here and there that I really enjoyed making. And then from there, a couple years later, a couple games had come out that I think really inspired me. And then I finally decided I kind of got tired of the content creation side of making YouTube videos and stuff like that. And I kind of wanted to shift from kind of like critiquing games and analyzing them to creating my own based off of that bedrock of like what I learned. So I wanted to basically play it. Oh, by the way, I should mention, this might be a first for your show. Paul didn't know that it was a multiplayer game or that he needed another person. So I will be playing with him. So I will actually be trying to talk with you and play with the game at the same time. So if I wonder if I'm a little distracted, that's why. But yeah, but you're actually watching the game right now. Yeah. So yeah, that's the gist of it pretty much. And that's he actually.
But what games? You said some games inspired you. What games inspired you?
It's actually funny you said that because I was on Twitter earlier and I actually did a tweet about this. So I'd say the three like games from a while back that inspired me was Mass Effect 1, Mirror's Edge, and Titanfall. Yeah, the OG Mass Effect. I didn't realize how old the game was since they did their legendary.
Yeah. No, I played Mass Effect 1 too, but I always hear Mass Effect 2, not 1.
Oh, so yeah, people love to, but one, like, I feel like one kind of like gave me a super, like, that was the beginning of it for me, and I think really set like a relationship for me on like the game. I'm actually being distracted because Paul here is trying to win. So I think like that was like a big inspiration for me. Like for me, I love the entire trilogy equally. Like it's kind of hard if people are like, "Hey, tell me your favorite Mass Effect." I love like 1, 2, and 3 like almost evenly.
Mass Effect
but one
is
I
there
think
to me
was the
too.
biggest one. Yeah, I love it to death. Mirror's Edge. I like that was like a really unique game for me because like I'd never played a game with like hardcore before for that game, and that really like sold me on like I love like that type of movement. And Titanfall was like the best of both worlds. It was a game that mixed the shooting aspects of like Call of Duty and first-person shooters with like that hardcore movement system that really no games had ever tried before, and it like changed everything from that point. And then most recently, I mean, this game just came out, or I should say expansion, but shout outs to Final Fantasy 14 and Walker. Shout out to everybody in the queues. I know everybody's been struggling with the queues, but I recently beat it, and it was truly an inspiring experience, and probably my favorite game I played this year. Yeah.
Yeah, that game took a friend away from me. He's been on that game like forever. I'm like, are you still here? Like, so
it is. It's a cult.
It's a cult. It's a cult. Yeah. I appreciate y'all at times, but it's a cult. So I have to ask, because you mentioned anime. Like, anime is very dear to me. I love samurai. Like, to me, you combine like samurai, two of my favorite themes, samurai and cyberpunk, together in a cybernetic samurai type of way, but still kept the essence of like the Edo period too in the story. Can you tell us more about the story? Because I think it's really interesting.
Sure, yeah. So it's kind of interesting when I talk about this, because a lot of people usually say, like, with multiplayer games, there's no story with multiplayer games for the most part. And we spent a lot of time in pre-production, like I'm talking years, really building out, like, I say Mass Effect 1 was a big inspiration, and it was an inspiration for this game because I felt Mass Effect 1 really nailed world building and really engaging you in a world that felt truly like unique and different and had a lot of depth to it when it came to its characters and like the world and the world building that they built out all those years ago that went throughout the whole trilogy. So for us, like, this story is basically best described as like it's what we call science fantasy. So it is a mix of what we said is what happens if we take a sort of Japanese inspired traditionalist society and they were suddenly interrupted with the discovery of advanced like sci-fi technology. So in the story, there is basically a I'm sorry, Paul, I'm just like destroying you right now. There is I should probably let him win around so people can see what it looks like to win. So in the story, there is a underground location called the City of Glass that the people discovered, and it's this advanced sci-fi location with these skyscrapers and glass buildings, like way different from this like Japanese fantasy society that's been built before, and it changes overnight the entire like setup of the entire world. So it introduces like a brand new power struggle of there's this new technology in the world of like this of sci-fi, and it's changing. Oh, he landed it. And it's changing how we like see and perceive like, power structures and how society reacts to those things. Like, how does technology change us? And so what you're seeing in the game, that in the way that you play it, is you're starting to see the beginning of that renaissance where you're seeing characters who take this technology and love it, and so they start to change themselves with it. The character you're seeing now is Ryder. He's actually, I thought was cool, like a robotic samurai. Like he's operated by an actual person, so it's like kind of like a puppet in that way. But like there's other characters in the game that don't like the technology and think it is a disgraceful form of combat. It's not the way that the samurai have fought for years, where it's more traditional. They believe in like natural strength and talent, and not using technology as a way to gain power. So what we're trying to do with the game is we're creating a cast of characters in this multiplayer universe that evolve and change throughout the lifetime of the game. Where a lot of multiplayer games you play and they feel static. So it's like, you play the game and the character acts one way when you first start playing the game, and they're still the same way they are like a year after while you're still playing the game. What we want to make is we want to make a cast of characters and a game where the characters actually evolve with the story of the game, that actually evolves as you play it throughout the lifetime of it. And that's like a huge ambitious goal we're trying to go for the game. But we've been. That was why we spent so much time in pre-production, because we wanted to make sure we knew what that direction was and that we could nail it.
So I got a question, if that's cool. So it's less of a softball question because I always find it interesting when people go from critiquing games and like being streamers and content creators to making transition over to development. How do you think your game holds up to a lot of the games you critiqued?
Oh, so that's interesting. I actually have nightmares of I imagining a younger version of myself. Like, I personally like kind of hate the younger version of myself from back then. Like there's stuff that I said back then that I cringe about now because like I think I've been given like it's one thing to criticize, I think, a lot of games, but when you have to do it yourself, you really start to have a lot of empathy for like developers and what they go through. Oh, hold on, Paul. You start to have a lot of empathy on like, you know, the process that it makes video games, because video games really are like, it's a miracle. Like, I think every game that comes out is honestly a miracle that they even come out, because they are definitely like, it's a very difficult process that takes a lot of time and nurturing to go through. And so for me, I think one of the interesting things I think in that critique aspect is I kind of, like I was saying, I kind of had a dream, or I kind of know it's going to happen, where there's probably going to be that younger version of me or someone else who will like take up that mantle and be like, it'll be like a kind of like a reverse, where I'm seeing now from the opposite side someone criticizing my game, or looking at it and critiquing it and analyzing it, and I'm looking forward to it. I've never been one to like stray away from like criticism or like critique, and I feel like it just makes you, you know, realize like, you know, how people perceive certain things, and how like, you know, things that you like and things that people, you know, that's, I think, is the cool thing, is the connection aspect. Is just like people who like see the game and they try and they're just like, dude, like this is my favorite game, like, oh my god, I love this game, it reminds me of something like when I grew up as a kid, or, you know, this is something different that I've never played before, and I've fallen in love with it. So that's really, I feel like, from the critique aspect of, you know, being a content creator and now like just becoming like a developer, just having that appreciation for the art.
Yeah, I think there's so much so much that can be gained from like a lot of critiques and reviewers just taking a shot at doing game development before they kind of go into like a lot of their judgments and such, because it really changes how you kind of view like games in general.
We're spoiled.
100%. Yeah, I feel like
gamers
like,
are spoiled.
Very spoiled.
I feel like we are spoiled, but I feel like also on top of that, I think gamers give a really good perspective on things. I think obviously like they are the lifeblood of a lot of our games, and like it's always important to appreciate them and like the perspectives they do in the community and some of the amazing work that they all like bring together to like really make their games the best, and how their communities work together and really promote your game. A lot of the thing I've discovered over the years is that a lot of the people who are most critical, or the people that you know, say the most about your game or try to talk about it or critique it or review it, is because like it comes from a place of love. A lot of them love those games, or they love your game, and a lot of them feel like, you know, well, my experience.
I respectfully disagree
for everybody,
but
yes, I won't.
They
I won't
either
say
hate
it's the same
it
for
until they
everybody.
love it, or they love
Yes.
it until they,
They love it till
to
they
love
hate
it
it.
again.
Right, but for me, luckily for me, I've had a journey of really supportive people who've backed me from the very beginning, from when I did this years ago, and just to see me transition in this spot, and like them like really supporting that, like that's been one of the things that I've always treasured and I've always loved, especially when we build in this community, is people who do support us. There's definitely always the haters and the trolls and stuff like that, but I feel like focusing more on the people that genuinely do care about your game and do support your game, those are the people that you should ride for, and those are the people that you should always be building your games towards. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marlo. I appreciate your passion for gaming, and even wanting to take the step to go from playing games, critiquing games, loving them, and then wanted to actually transition into making. I think that's so inspiring. It is inspiring me. We're going to have to talk so I can figure out what game I want to make. Probably Neil, I got you. Also, of course, you know, indie game dev of the year. But thank you, Marlo. Is there anything else you want to leave us for the fans? I know the Discord. I'm in the Discord. So let us know what you have in store coming up with updates.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff actually. Obviously, if you like what you see and you're interested, what I was just playing and showing was a little bit of a prototype vertical slice. We had a play test back in June that people were able to play it and try it out and give us feedback on. We've been a little bit heads down right now because there's a lot of crazy stuff happening in the back end, and we are working on pushing the game now to have 3v3 and allow you guys to have team-based multiplayer matches that you're gonna be able to play as teams. And we're gonna be revealing a lot more of the cast and more samurai moving into 2022. So look forward to that. We're on Steam right now, so of course you can wishlist us, and you can check out our website at samurai0.com. I'm here to announce also that we will have a playtest early next year. So if you are interested in trying this game out again, a lot of people have been begging for it to go back online. We will be opening the playtest, so if you want to play more of it, you can. And on top of that, we'll be showing brand new content very soon. So, yep.
Exclusive. Thank you.
Yeah,
for
there
the
you go.
exclusive.
World
Thank you
premiere.
so
No problem.
much. World premiere.
World premiere.
Thank you so much, Marlo. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it. And thanks everybody in the chat who've taken a look at Samurai Zero and check it out. Really appreciate all of you.
Yes.
Awesome. Super fun game to
Awesome.
watch. Like, I was just so distracted.
I was too. I was like, wait a minute, because I got a chance to kind of check it out a bit. Like I said, I love Samurai, but we also have another guest and we have another project to show that is Breeze in the Clouds. So let's check it
Back
out.
to back. Like Drake.
Yo, I think I made like a Breeze in the
dope
Clouds
beat.
step because that the beat was just hitting. It's just hitting. But we have Civilian Harris in the lobby. First of all, this name is just amazing. Civilian Harris. So we have Civilian Harris in the building, the creator of Breeze in the Clouds. How are you, sir?
Beat from the demo.
Wait. There you go. There we go. Say it again.
No, so I'm glad you enjoyed the beat of the trailer.
Yes. Yes,
Oh
that
man,
was
you know me.
on my
Like, the
two-step.
music, that's the first thing on my list.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us
So,
about you
yeah.
in the game Breeze in the Clouds.
Sure. So Breeze in the Clouds is basically an action-adventure platformer starring a corgi named Breeze. And you're pretty much spending most of the game making friends with different weather phenomena and getting a bunch of different weather-based powers.
That's cool. See, corgis are one of my favorite dogs because of Cowboy Bebop. I want
yeah.
a corgi for sure. So let us know, how did you get into game development and like what inspired you to be like, you know what, I want to create something of my own one day?
So I've been interested in games since I was like 6 years old. And I think probably around the age of like 9 or 10, I said, I want to make games. So I think it's just something that I've always really wanted to do. I spent a good amount of my childhood playing like Sonic 2, Crash Bandicoot. I got into fighting games a little bit. So I pretty much spent a lot of my free time trying to figure out like, how can I make games? Anything from like drawing pictures to trying to figure out how to write stories. I got into trying to learn how to program really young, and I didn't really go well the first time. But kind of towards high school, I kind of started figuring things out, just thanks to like coursework and stuff like that. But it's always been a passion and a dream of mine to get into games. Eventually went to college for it. Ended up teaching myself a lot of stuff, and something I just knew I always wanted to do. So I just put a lot of work into researching, what tools I could use to make games, and kind of just learning the process on my own.
Now we have the game playing right now, and you know, while we're seeing some of the gameplay behind it, you have like these awesome different characters. You mentioned Sonic, even like from my childhood playing Star Fox, like just seeing these different characters. What was the inspiration to be like, I want a corgi and I want these squirrels to be in a game that I'm beating up? What
Right.
inspired you to have this?
So like corgis, I kind of similar to you. Like I always thought they were just a really cute dog. I was actually daydreaming on the bus, and I was kind of just looking out the window. And for whatever reason, I thought, you know, what if there was like a corgi who gets swept away by like a balloon or something and ends up in the clouds, and then that little idea kind of sparked into a much larger idea over time. Like this idea of a corgi who's trying to fix weather and operate these different machines that make clouds and stuff like that. But that's kind of how it started. I started adding in more characters kind of later on. They weren't originally like animal ideas, ironically. I think I ended up choosing animals because I sucked at drawing like people and other creatures. So that's kind of how it ended up happening.
Now, you have anything to add? You know, the
Yeah,
dev,
like so.
the in-house dev.
I gotta point out the UI so dope. The art style amazing. It all blends together and goes with the music. Like you got all this stuff to match and like feel like it matches. Like super impressed. Like
Yeah,
most people get like so many of these things wrong.
Yeah, the pre-production stage definitely took some time. It's just like a lot of iteration to kind of get things the way we really like it. So
Yeah, just the shading and the lighting, man, it's all like perfect. How long did it like kind of take you to get through pre-production to kind of figure that stuff out?
Oh man, that's almost an embarrassing answer. So we actually started Breeze off as a 3D platformer back in like 2011, 2012. And just realizing how much I sucked at making 3D assets and stuff like that, I eventually decided to turn it into like a 2D platformer back in like 2015. So on and off through that time, we kind of developed this idea of making Breeze look like a kind of like a cartoon.
It looks like I'm watching a show. That's what's so dope
Netflix,
about it.
where you at? Where Netflix at? Like it's just going right now.
Facts. I just love the art style of it.
Really cool. Yeah, this is so pretty.
Thank you so much. No, I definitely. So I have a team of a bit over 20 people. So it was definitely a collaborative effort to kind of get the style going, like figuring out how characters and backgrounds work with each other. And even like the cutscenes that you're seeing now, that was a few months long process of figuring out how we wanted to portray these things.
Wow. So I've seen like you know, a lot of times we hear from game devs about mentoring, but I've seen that you was able to even mentor some people in your college. How was that like to take your knowledge and also help out your classmates or any friends that was involved and wanted to be involved in game development?
So I think it kind of just happened organically in that like we had a lot of introductory courses where they were going over tools like GameMaker. And since I pretty much know life, the whole process of trying to figure out how to make games and stuff, I kind of came with some knowledge, you know, from the forefront. And having a lot of like group project and stuff just kind of caused me to work with a lot of folks who didn't know a lot about games. So I just kind of naturally went like, hey, I've done a little bit of stuff. Let me see what I can do to help you. And then, you know, once everyone in, you know, all my classes knew that, then I was kind of that person people would come to figure out like how to do certain things. I was just that guy. Like, I put myself in that situation. How about that? So, but, you know, I enjoy.
What's behind Sir Billion? The name Sir Billion, because it's just a dope name, like Sir Billion. Like I am here.
I was actually really happy that you were able to get it right the first time, because that's definitely a challenge for a lot of folks when I meet them the first time. They see my name and it's, you know, Senior Bylon, and I don't even want to go through the list, but the thought behind it was my mom actually made it. The sir, like phonetically, like, you know, yes sir, means that, you know, folks would always address me by sir. And Billion would kind of equates to like my, you know, eventual value in worth. So, mom definitely kind kind of set some stuff
Set
up
you up.
at first. Yeah.
That's great. That is great.
See,
That's awesome.
see, that's what I'm talking about. Like game devs never drop the ball when it comes to naming stuff.
I need to get my mom involved in the creative process probably a little bit more.
Yeah, shouts out to
I,
moms.
I,
Like,
I did
babe
it.
is
I
fire.
did the same thing with my grandma though. Like that's why so much of my game is purple because it's her favorite color.
I'm too afraid to give her a controller though. Like I gave her Mario Kart.
No,
and that was
you don't
that
tell
was
them
an
about the game.
experience.
Oh, you don't say it.
Yeah, don't tell her about the game. Just ask her questions. Just be like, hey, if you made a game, what would you do X, Y, and Z? And they give you the best answers.
She already stole the one Bree shirt that I did make, so I think she definitely does a good job marketing the game, even though she hasn't played it yet. So
That's dope.
Yeah.
Family is always important in projects. I love to see it. Now, you know, it's a fighting game, like it's a beat 'em up game that have all these different characters. And I asked this earlier to another developer because they're like chibi type of animals. What, like, either one of your favorite characters in gaming or a project you would love to work with? Who would you want to be in your game, Breeze in the Clouds?
oh, that's a tough one. I mean, to put in the game, that'd be really hard to say. I think the closest I would say is someone like Sonic the Hedgehog would be kind of cool. Like that, like I took a lot of inspiration from Sonic and like Crash, as I mentioned earlier. I've had a lot of fans joke about like Breeze being included in other things. Just kind of naturally with him having a fighting game moveset. Like I get jokes about put Breeze in Rivals of Ether or put Breeze in Smash and stuff like that. So it's almost a flip. Like what else would you see Breeze in? Is what I get from a lot of folks.
Wow, dope. So what's some, like, in development, what are some type of trying things that you notice in developing games that you will want to give advice to any newcomers, since you're a great mentor?
Definitely don't make your first project an MMO. I think that was almost a joke back in the day where everyone who got into games was like, I want to make the next biggest MMO. And there was this joke of a tweet, and it's not really even a joke, it's fact, but I think it said something along the lines of like, I didn't know when you make a game that you have to make the whole thing. And there's a lot of
like an anime title right now.
they should definitely make they should make an anime about making a game, but in truth it's like we take for granted a lot of the different things we see in games, like things as simple as sound design, or figuring out how to make characters talk, or choosing a good style and direction for your game. Yeah, I think advice I would give is try to get familiar, at least as far as if you're like running or leading a project, it's to kind of try to get familiar with as many components of game design and game development as you can, especially if you're working in a team, because it makes it a lot easier to communicate different things with those team members if you understand the language. Yeah, that's probably my biggest, the biggest thing I can advise.
Nice.
Now, you have any advice? The in-house dev?
Oh, advice to people: don't do it. This is so much
Yeah,
work.
don't make games
look,
don't make games unless you're crazy.
Yeah, unless like you crazy, you just
Like
really,
you gotta,
really
like
love
you have
it.
to really
You
like
don't do it for
doing
money.
this for years,
Yeah, this is years of your life. This is gone, and then that's if people like it.
and then
then we
definitely
get
ask
to
the dev when
enjoy
their
it.
game's coming out.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
the funniest question we love answering.
I know, right? So, Civilian, let us know anything else you want to add and where we can find or when we can get Breeze in the Clouds.
Okay. So yeah, that's the release date's definitely to be determined. But if you want to kind of follow, our progress and stuff, I'm really active on Twitter. Breeze Game, you can find us there. We also have a Patreon that has like a dev blog. You don't have to throw coins in if you don't want to. We make all our blogs or blog posts free. But you can find me on Patreon by my name, spelt at the bottom there. And we're working on getting a wish list page up, but we'll make sure to let everyone know once it's up on Twitter.
Nice.
Hey, thank you so much. I enjoyed playing your game. I can't wait till it come out. It's so enjoyable. Thank you so much for stopping by and being a part of Black Voices in Gaming.
Yeah, it was a pleasure speaking with you guys today.
Super awesome. I'm super
All
excited
right.
about that one. That's
I am
on the
too.
top
I
of my
can't wait.
list.
Wish listening it up. So now what we have in store next?
All right, what's next is wait, I'm scrolling down the list. We hit the is that the freshman class?
First class.
Want to talk about that?
Freshman.
You said what?
Yes.
That's what I said.
Freshman.
Okay, so am I just talking about it or are we throwing something up?
Yeah, I mean, you
No,
was a part
I'm
of
talking
it,
about it.
wasn't you?
Yeah, but like y'all been doing all this fancy stuff all day with trailers and fun and stuff. But no, you was like, oh Neil, we just gonna just throw you out there in the wind. All right, cool. Anyway,
It's
y'all
only
my
right.
favorite. No, freshman class. What it is me and Justin got together last year. Me and him had a little bit of juice, a little bit of clout going on. And like I said earlier in the stream, people in that position, it's kind of their responsibility to make sure that the people who weren't privy to that benefit to get some shine as well. So what we did last year and what we're going to continue to do is to pick games that's coming up within the next 12 months from when we pick the class, of course, and just highlight those games and put them out there and make a list so that people can know that they're coming within the year. We can highlight the developers and we can kind of bring more awareness to these creators who often go ignored or unnoticed, and do what we can just to kind of help get their names out there, as well as, give them a little bit of promotion that doesn't come with any catches or anything like that.
Awesome. So let's check out the trailer for the freshman class.
Path of a spirit guide is the only one.
Welcome to the grid. Just tell me what I gotta do. Defeat new enemies. Go and save Gora. Wake up, my champion.
It
So
chills
dope.
like
You did
every
the
time I
t-shirt?
see it.
Oh.
Yes, I will be
Yeah,
special one day to get a T-shirt. But that's
I
some
don't think you will.
award-winning heavy hitters, award-winning like heavy hitters in that freshman class. I get chills all the time. Seeing it is so dope. But now we're gonna come up
Yeah,
to our
and
next.
wait, before we go to
Oh my
before you
bad.
do that,
Before we go, okay.
sorry, I'm sorry, I gotta cut you off like you've been doing to me the whole time. No, before we do that, keep an eye out on all the mixed channels and the Black Voices in Gaming channels, because we're gonna be putting out a survey to find the next group of freshmen in the freshman class for 2022. Is that the year? Yeah, 2022. So yeah, keep a lookout for that.
Okay. Okay, so we have that in store, just like what he said. Make sure you follow everything. And now we're going to show the next trailer and some gameplay with it, Advent Neon. So while we are waiting for Advent Neon, we can talk more about freshman class, because I wanted to speak more about it. Yo, you cut me off, but I was in
I'm
your
mad.
spirit and wanted to
It's what
speak
we
more
do
about
now. That's our dynamic. That's what make us work. You cut me off, I cut you off, and then we fry each other about it. But no,
That's the
freshman class
best
is dope.
chemistry.
Yeah, because we homies. It wouldn't work with nobody else though. I'll be like, what you doing? But wait, what were we talking about? We were talking about freshman class.
Freshman
A
class.
lot of the people, a lot of the people who were chosen last year, games that come out super dope, super successful. Can't wait to see like the games that we get to pick from next year. My biggest regret was like a lot of people didn't know to apply and like didn't know like how to contact me and Justin to be a part of it. So we hoping that, with the little bit of juice that we got from the last class, that we can kind of expand and get more diversity within the class this year, because it was a lot of Black male developers, which go super underrepresented.
We need the ladies. We need the ladies.
Yeah, we need the ladies in there. And I'm super excited to get more of that and just kind of like see what happens. Hopefully it becomes a bigger thing and people really enjoy it, and it kind of pushes this thing that we're trying to do forward, whatever you want to call that thing we're trying to do.
Movement. It's a great movement, which I have. We've seen some well-renowned titles already. So now we're ready for Advent Neon. I can't wait to check out this gameplay. Let's roll it.
Yo, name's Larry Boyd, also known as CrowdGX. This here is my passion project, Advent Neon, and I'm the only guy developing it, so all the art, music, animations, etc. are done by me. So we're here in Central District Overworld, where you can access different acts of the area. So my goal with Advent Neon is to make possibly the most fluid and powerful feeling 2D platformer based around my own favorite inspirations growing up. So it's like Neon can jump and it will be incredibly responsive, like chaining it. They can dash and attack, and then you can do these actions into each other. So it's like you can jump, dash to the ground, the wave dash, and then dash into different attacks and everything like that. And you can wall jump, wall run, all sorts of good mobility. So right now we're just going to hop into the final act of Central District just to show you some actual gameplay. I already feel we're off to a heck of a kinetic start here. So Neon's trying to scale the Central District Spire, and the spires are areas that control robots of a district. So taking this place down takes down all the Central District robots at once. And speaking of taking down robots, we got a couple here. Watch this. So Neon's capable of freezing time with well-timed dashes. Doing this gives you a chance to do an enhanced attack for free on enemies, whereas they cost dashes otherwise. Which time? Zoardo? Is that you? And even when Neon doesn't have time stop, they can easily do a bunch of other flashy strategic options to keep the advantage. What they do is completely up to you and your preference. There is more than enough moveset for Neon to go around, honestly. And that's ultimately my idea of fun with Advent Neon. Give you more options than you need so that you can express your skill in a way that you want. And speaking of expressing skill, express enough of it and you can basically break the game. Go Super Saiyan, if you will. So that 100% on the left side of the screen, that is your resonance. That is Neon's innate ability to scale in power as they attack and collect things without being hit or without just dawdling around. And even if you're not at 100%, you will quickly notice Neon's damage output begin to increase when you get it above 30 or 50%, which means everybody who plays can benefit from the system. We're not going to talk about that sound effect. But yeah, it's all supposed to feel good, regardless of player skill level. Like this section ain't even that hard, it just looks cool. But the players who can speedrun and break the game even further than what I've already shown, those people will make the game look even cooler to newer players and give them something to aspire to. Regardless of how good you are, you should be able to feel that energy I was going for and be able to always enjoy the game. Now for that good stuff. Neon's already maxed out, so they kind of have an unfair advantage, but this dude can absolutely tear you one anyway. Defeating this giant ball lets you get access to the other ball in the back room that'll take down the district's robots, which is why Neon's here. It ain't a major boss fight without a second phase. Neon threw the first phase way too fast with max power anyway, so let's see how they deal with the second one. And yep, already lost max power from one hit. Also, boss battles are meant to have a fast-paced flow to them that involve really obvious and big attacks, but they're still fast and engaging. And even after you figure them out and start dodging everything, I mean, you can see here, I'm only dodging some of these by the skin of my teeth. It's not like I'm completely trivializing the battle, even though I'm not really taking, that much damage. It's still kind of a waltz, and a parry right there, too. But I do believe this dude's lived long enough. Oh no, you're gonna pay for that. Give me them shins. Okay, Loudmouth, what did we learn? Alright, and with that, we can access the end of the level. And max power state again. But yeah, this here's the reactor. Oganescence is explaining it to them, but Neon doesn't want to break it just because of how shiny it is. But it must die. But yeah, that's a little bit of Avid Neon for you. We've got a free demo on Steam right now if you want to try it out while I try to get it done by 2024. And also follow my Twitter for more. Thank y'all for watching.
The commentary it was the best.
The commentary was
I
just the best.
I couldn't have done it better myself. That's all we need.
It was just so real. Thank you so much for that. The most realist commentary ever. Like when the notification.
He was like, I'm gonna try my best to get it done. Like I feel him.
I was trying to get it done. But Neil, we had an incredible showcase. Like it was so fun working like with you, period, and speaking to these phenomenal developers. Like what was your takeaway from it?
You're amazing. Man, if we're not gonna get invited back, but if we were, the only person I would want to do it with, but that's probably not gonna happen. No, you did amazing. It's all me. This is my fault.
It's your fault. So Neil, since we team together, there's no sidekicks or nothing. We doing this together. I would love to see your game.
Okay.
So we need to roll that for
I keep it going like, I keep it moving like, I keep it going like, I keep it going, they ain't bringing me down. I keep on flowing like I live in it now. Like a river, I've been driven in style. I'm running wild, now I'm on the way anyway, cause I took a different route. Say it loud, I say it proud, I'm never gonna quit. I'm too legit, need no assist, I'm always in a mix. Ain't never seen anything quite like this. In a league of my own, I'm one of a kind. I be in the zone, I be on the grind, I leave me alone. You wasting my time, the clock's ticking, I'm not slipping, I gotta get it. Every second, every minute, that's why I'm living. No different but about it, that's why I'm winning. Even when they got it, I see the vision, ain't no limit to where I can take it. If you're thinking otherwise, then you're mistaken. Every barrier I'm breaking, you are now in the midst of a legend in the making. And that's a fact, got it like that. One time for your mind, bring it right back. Running the game, and I'm on the right track. I'm running the game, and I'm on the right track.
Man, that's Austin. Like his verses is always the best. That's why I keep hitting him up. He's amazing. What should I keep? So your lips are moving, but I don't hear anything.
Boom, I'm gonna do it one more again. I had to practice real quick, but Never Yield is dope. Everybody make sure you check out. It's on all platforms, period. But what's some upcoming updates that you have for Never Yield?
So yeah, I've been super excited to talk about it. Early next year, very early next year, like the earliest you could think of next year. That's when I'm gonna be dropping like some new stuff. Dealing with Never Yield, so you keep a lookout. I've been listening to everybody's feedback. That's all I've been doing this past year is listening to feedback and like tweaking, making changes, making updates, making fixes. And I don't do the like dropping it every kind of couple weeks or whatever. So I'm gonna come all at once. So I'm super excited. I can't wait for y'all to see this completely. I don't even know how to say this. This massive change to the game.
Mass nuances and change to the game. We was trying to pick out
the
right word.
It feels so different, right? I'm still working on like how I'm gonna talk about this, Yeah, I mean it's the same game. If you got the game, then you know what it is. But I'm saying like once I put out what I'm trying to put out, you should go back and you should go back and try it again.
Yeah, I need that platinum. So I know I'm going to stream it again. I'm going to play it again. And so you all should too. It's on all platforms. Be on the lookout. You also have a Discord as well, like
Yeah, I
Twitter
just drop
page,
stuff on the
everything.
Discord all the time. But like one of the first people who like interviewed me and gave me like a platform to even talk about it was you. You reached out and you was like, "Hey, I want to know more about the game. I want to talk about you. I want to, just chop it up." And like I was like so grateful. Like that's why I just like kept in contact and we hit it up every time. But I just want to say thank you for like kind of like highlighting me and like helping me like figure out how I want to talk about the game and put it out there. And like people should definitely like look into the your channel where you interview like devs and just kind of like have those conversations because it's really interesting and it's super dope. And I hope like everybody watching takes the time to go check out Red and Family's channel and subscribe and like send her all them with bits. They still do bits. I don't know. I'm old. Do all of that stuff. Do all that stuff.
I appreciate you. Yes, definitely check out Hidden Code, where I speak to a lot of Black, Native, and Hispanic game developers and their journeys. Thank you for the plug. But we also have to plug in our supporters and sponsors for sure. So I want to give a huge shout out. Yeah, the huge thank you so much to Intel Dev Boost program, who help developers get visibility and discoverability for their games. And we also have something to show for it.
What happened?
I guess we'll cue it up later. I guess the other sponsors like
Hey,
listen.
doing streams is hard. Like doing all this stuff is hard. Like
streams
thank
is
you,
hard.
Tracy. Like Tracy in the back just trying
Shout
to
out to
like
Quiet
plug all this
Storm. He
stuff in and
probably
make it
has
work.
that's his code
Oh yeah,
name.
Quiet Storm.
Quiet Storm. Quiet Storm.
We call him
But
Quiet Storm
huge
because
shout
he
out to the
whispers so
Intel
like softly in our ears. He's just like,
He
"Hey,
does,
we got 10 seconds left." I feel like it's a sexy elf just like in my ear.
I'm dead.
Oh, there he is. Come on, Tracy. Come on. You can't be doing that.
All right. So Humble, we definitely want to thank you so much to the Humble Black Game Developer Fund, a huge support for the whole showcase, and also the developers that was showcased today that you'll see. So to give y'all some more information, the Humble Black Game Developer Fund is a program that took action by spending millions of dollars on up-and-coming Black game developers and support their projects through prototype funds, finishing funds, and additional ongoing support. So make sure y'all definitely check out the Black Game Developer Fund on their website, the blackgamedevfund.com. Once again, that is the blackgamedevfund.com. And also, I mean, of course, Twitch. Thank you so much for being our broadcasting partner, and also Razer for providing hardware for our showcases over the years. And a huge shout out to PlayStation, who supported the team in 2021 to make things happen for Black voices in gaming. We really appreciate your support. And also Raw Fury. Justin's out there with the team right now, so who has been an amazing partner and actually helped get this all up and started and help funding the series throughout the year. And also all the developers you've seen in showcase with their different trailers, their gameplays. If you want more information on those games, make sure you definitely check out the Black Voices in Gaming Steam event page, where you can wish list it up, see any updates that they have. And like Neil said plenty of times, wish listing helps developers all the time. And also make sure y'all check out blackvoicesingaming.com, where you're able to see the freshman first class. I love it because it reminds me of Double XL freshman class. So I love that. And we got to give a huge shout out to the AV team, the mix team, and of course, code name Quiet Storm. We really appreciate you all for putting the show on. Neil, thank you so much for helping me through this. It's been so excited. And we're going to roll it to Justin.
Okay.
All right,
You know
so
what?
we're
You know
going
what?
to go
Justin
back.
can wait. Justin can wait.
Oh, he
First,
can?
I want to see Intel stuff. Can we see Intel real quick?
Oh, we're going back to Intel. Okay, let's go to Intel and show their developer boost fund. Reiterate,
so dope.
because that was a dope trailer. That is the Intel Dev Boost program, will helps developers get visibility and discoverability on their game. So if you are or an aspiring game developer, or already have a project, make sure you look into the Intel Developer Boost program. And I'm going to give another thanks again to Quiet Storm, okay? Quiet Storm in the building, the mix team, all our sponsors, all the developers. Make sure you check them out and support them. And now we could give Justin
the king
some shine.
Thank you so much, Neil and Tamika. You guys are super amazing and extra talented. Thank you all for tuning in. And of course, if you want to check out more on Black Voices in Gaming, check out blackvoicesingaming.org. We are a nonprofit, so many amazing things to happen. 2021 was great. A lot of streams and showcases and developers. 2022 is even going to be bigger and better. So want to wish everyone a happy holidays and a happy new year. We love you guys. My name is Justin Woodward. We're out. Peace.